Jesus Hey everybody, ISW here with my beautiful, loving wife,
Katrina.
Okay, and I don't know if you want to use it. Now people know. Alright, so today we are going to be doing something fun. We are going to make a do-it-yourself candy dish. But we're going to put a little spin on it. It is going to be the Piranha plant from Super Mario Brothers. And you might be saying, how can you make a candy dish? Well, just watch.
Geek can. I can.
Alright, so let's get started. For this project, you're going to need a bunch of crap. Wooden dowels, probably the thicker one, like this thick. Oh. Made in Malaysia size. It's 38 by 30, no, number? Wait, what?
It's 3/8.
3/8, thank you. Alright, 3/8. So this is probably going to be the perfect one to use. You're going to need a potting plant.
Terracotta pot.
Yeah, and get the ones that are made in Germany. Because China. We're going to be using these.
Styrofoam balls.
Yeah, and this is going to be for the candy dish.
It's going to be in the pot and for the candy dish.
Okay, so we're going to use it for both. So you need 2 of these, right?
Yes.
You need 2 balls and a stick. Got it.
I got it.
Alright. What else do we need? Paint.
Paints.
So
Red, green.
Yep.
Paint brushes. You need a knife to cut the styrofoam. You can use a regular kitchen knife, or we have one of these very fancy, large, doesn't cut skin knives.
As seen on TV.
As seen on TV.
Yeah. This is such a piece of crap. And then, hot glue gun, which is warming back here.
If you do not have a hot glue gun, you can use Elmer's glue.
Go get a hot glue gun. It's $3 at Walmart. Won't be cheap.
And I have white felt.
And you should probably get green felt, as we failed to get green felt for the leaves. But.
All right.
So what do we get started with?
All right. First off, we're gonna paint the pots green. I'm gonna just put it right on the pot, but I guess you could really put it on a paper towel.
So you just put it on. Right?
I'm just putting it on.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
I don't want to get it on.
I'll do this. You know what? I'll do this part. While I'm doing this, why don't you paint one of the styrofoam balls red?
Okay. Alright, so now that we have our red ball painted and our green pot, we're going to take this styrofoam ball, we're going to cut it to shape.
Cut it in half.
Cut it in half. Plop it in there so that the wooden dowel has a base to stand up straight.
So I painted the pot green, painted the inside of it green, and I'm going to cut the styrofoam down, stick it in here, and I'm just going to paint the styrofoam green so that it all matches. Big knife. So I cut this in half. We're gonna put this in here. We don't want it to stick up too much, so we're gonna just kind of play around with it. If it sticks up too much, we're just gonna cut a little bit more off. And if not, then we're just gonna paint it. So let's see. So I put this in, it sticks up a lot. I guess it's really your choice if you want it to stick up. It does look kind of cool. Or you can flip it upside down. Look at that. Keep smart today. Geeky.
So during painting, we realized that putting the dome shape in a circular pot is going to kind of let it jiggle. And so we're gonna hot glue this part to the inside. Okay, so now that the pot's all glued and everything, we are going to cut the dowel to put in there. And so how long do you stay? This isn't really long. I mean, like, obviously nobody wants a candy dish this freaking tall. I mean, it won't even fit on camera.
When you buy it, it's 3 feet long. So
That's what she said.
So it's just gonna be depending really on how tall you want your flower to be. So
Probably like half, right?
It's gonna be here.
Well, yeah.
I would say for our plant, we're going to do like here. Which
About what?
that's about I don't know. I'd say roughly 8 or 9 inches. You want to make sure you're giving yourself enough space because you're going to end up putting, and I know I'm going to get it as a she said joke, you're going to end up sticking the stick into the styrofoam and the other end of the stick into the plant part of the styrofoam, the red ball. So make sure you leave yourself enough room for that, and again, just however tall you want it to be.
You want to cut off the tip or just?
What's wrong with you?
Jesus.
We're gonna paint the dowel.
Okay, we're gonna paint it first.
The dowel we're gonna paint green. We're gonna paint it to match the pot. This is what's gonna hold the red ball to the green pot. We're gonna paint it green, and we'll take it from there.
All right, so we painted the stem green as you saw, and now comes the fun part.
Jamming the stick into the ball.
All right, go for it.
All right, so we're gonna put one end of the green dowel into the green plants, to the styrofoam. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first stick the stick into the styrofoam to create the hole. Then I'm gonna put in some hot glue from the glue gun into the hole and then reinsert the stick. Alright, so I just stuck the stick in.
Not all the way through, my bad.
No, don't go all the way through. The half of the styrofoam ball is not at the bottom of the pot, so if you go all the way through, the stick's gonna be at the bottom. It's not really gonna hold very well. So I don't know if you can see, there's a little hole, not all the way through. We're gonna put some hot glue in there. Again, you don't have to use hot glue. You can use Elmer's glue or even super glue from the Dollar Tree. It always works. We're gonna use hot glue though.
So hot glue is drying right now. We put a little bit extra around the sides just to make sure. You're gonna want to make sure that you put an ample amount of hot glue. Don't be afraid to it's not gonna melt the styrofoam or anything. And you want to make sure that the base is sturdy because you're gonna be putting candy in there, and the last thing you want is to put too much candy in it and it falls over. So yeah, make sure.
Next thing we're gonna do is you're going to take the red styrofoam ball that you painted, and we're gonna cut a V out of it. That's the part that's gonna hold the candy. That's what makes the plant. So again, we're gonna take our big knife and we're just gonna cut a V into it. Don't go all the way down. I don't even think I'm gonna go halfway down, just because we wanna make sure it still looks like the plant we want it to look like. This particular candy dish, you can make it any size because there's all different size pots, there's all different size balls of styrofoam. You can make really big ones, you can make very small ones. This particular one is not huge, so it's not gonna hold a lot of candy. Really, honestly, just cut it a couple pieces, but it looks cool. So I'm gonna cut the V.
All right, so we cut the V out, looks good. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna repaint the inside here. Now, you can paint the inside black, which would normally be the thing. We're just gonna paint it red for this part of it, and we don't have black paint. And then we're gonna touch up a few of the sides where we got it on the table here. But, and then we'll be back. Yeah, well, whatever. All right, so finished painting, we're good to go. Recommend probably like letting things dry, but for the sake of the video, we're kind of speeding through this.
And getting messy.
I don't have it as much as she does, but. All right, so next we're gonna attach the head to the stem.
So we hot glued the stem into the base, and it's pretty sturdy. It's really not moving, which is what we want. We put hot glue into the hole we created, stuck the stem in, and we just kind of put some hot glue around the pole where it connects with the styrofoam, just to keep it from toppling over. And we're gonna do the same with the red ball. Now, we initially were going to make this where the mouth basically is pointing up. But Keith actually wants to angle it more, so it's not all the way up, not sideways, but where you can still put stuff on it. Again, this isn't gonna hold a lot. It's not a bowl. It's not hollowed out. I mean, I guess you could. It's really messy. It's messy even just cutting this part off. Not too horrible, but just keep that in mind. Again, it doesn't have to hold candy. It can hold keys. It can be nothing. It can be just nice. Be cool. So we're gonna jam the red ball on the stick.
Yep. All right. So as you can see, we have the mouth attached. It's still a little bit drying, but it's fine for right now. Pipe / pot, and then the stem. You're probably going to want to use a little bit bigger of a ball, but honestly, it looks cool. So very cool so far. Now we're going to cut the spots out for the white spots for the piranha plant and glue them on. We're actually going to be using super glue for the felt. We would use hot glue, but we ran out.
And honestly, I think for this part of it, you're going to want to switch to a different type of glue, Elmer's super glue, if you were using hot glue. Just because it's hot, it gets messy with the felt. I think this will just be easier. Like I said, I'm using felt, regular felt squares. You can get them at the craft store. I guess you can paint white circles on there, but especially with styrofoam,
It's kind of hard.
it is really hard.
The red is still wet. Everything. I mean, it's going to take hours to dry.
It's going to take a while to dry, and I would suggest doing a second coat just to get all those little nooks and crannies that we can't get with the first coat. But in all honesty, it looks really cool so far, and with the second coat, it would be perfect. They do also sell styrofoam balls that aren't, they're more smooth. I think that would be easier to paint. These are cheaper. This whole project in itself isn't really that expensive, and it's pretty cool. So, so I'm gonna just take my felt. I'm just gonna cut, I don't know, I'd say 6 or 7 circles. If you need to draw a circle first and then do it, go for it. But I'm just gonna wing it.
All right, so We got our circles cut out, again, all different sizes and whatnot. Now we're going to glue them on. This is just the original super glue. I prefer crazy glue. And so yeah, you know, you just put it on and then we'll do that and we'll be right back and show you the finished product. Alright, so make sure your camera is charged fully. So after we glued on the additional spots, we also went ahead and glued on the lips. So let's turn it that way. So now it really looks like the plant guy from Mario, the Piranha plant. These are just strips. I'll let Katrina tell you what we did.
We took the same pieces of white felt and I just cut small strips and used the same super glue and just glued them basically around the V that you cut out just to make lips. And the circles, there's really no rhyme or reason, just put them wherever. Again, like Keith said earlier in the video, we probably needed a larger styrofoam ball for this particular project. But trial and error. It still came out pretty cool. It's very sturdy. Keith wanted it angled a little bit more, so this particular one isn't really going to hold much of anything, but it is pretty cool. You can use the pot at the bottom to put stuff if that was what you wanted to do. I think if I did it again, I probably would make the stem a little bit shorter and the ball, the red ball, bigger.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. There's really no wrong height for the stem because, you know, for Mario, they're all different lengths. Also, we probably want to include some leaves, and again, you can use some green felt and just cut out leaf shapes and hot glue them on. And that's probably what we'll add here just to finish it off eventually. And again, if you want to make the mouth black, go right ahead. With the felt on here, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of paint inside. But
if you really want to get creative, you could do the teeth.
Do they have teeth?
Yeah.
I don't think they have teeth, do they?
I think they do.
To be continued. But all in all, I think this was a successful do-it-yourself for the Piranha plant from Mario. You could definitely tell what this is, and it goes in any geek slash gamer's man cave. If it fit on my shelf, I would definitely put it on there, but it does not, so we'll probably just put it on my desk or something for future videos. But all in all, very cool. Obviously, follow the directions. A list of all the supplies will be down in the description. And if you guys express enough want, or if you guys are just too lazy and you guys express enough want, we may open up a Etsy store where you can purchase said items. But again, only if you guys are really, you know, interested in this and don't want to make it yourself.
This was the very first one we ever did too, so again, trial and error, but still pretty cool.
So, alright guys, like, comment, subscribe down below, you know the drill, and hopefully this is a new weekly or every other weekly video thing, and we'll bring you guys more do-it-yourself. Any suggestions, leave them down in the comments, we'd love to hear it. Pictures are always nice because that helps out. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Hey, didn't see enough tabletop review? Go ahead and click on the video beneath me to see more tabletop review. And click on this video for just awesome geek stuff. And if you want to be my friend on Twitter, you can follow me at Alcohol Arcade.